Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we're here to set up our budget for the second quarter of the year for April, May, and June. I have my sticker sheets here with me for the sinking funds along with the 2024 budget. These sheets are customizable to be able to use for whatever quarter or the whole year or however you'd like. For example, for the year 2024 budget, you could just leave the scripts out and do it for the whole year, or like me, do it per quarter for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, so on and so forth. And I also have it for biannual for January to June and July to December. It's definitely personable to your budget and how you want to do it. For me, I like doing it per quarter because it's just, I feel like it's more achievable versus doing it for a year. But we also have our sinking fund spread that we'll set up per quarter as well. Let me show you guys what it looked like for last year. For last year, the sinking fund categories, I left it per quarter for January, February, March, and so on. The reason why is because I like to see how much we spend from each category and for which categories is on repeats and how often we spend from them per quarter. Like for gifts and treating, every single month we've spent from it, and every single quarter we've spent hundreds, which is kind of bad. So we've tried to kind of limit ourselves a little bit more from spending so much, but that's just how we want to do it. You definitely don't. You could also do it for January/March, April/May, or you could just do the traditional starting amount, adding, subtracting, and then like the total at the end of the year. I left these blank so you guys could use it however you see fit for your own budget. This is just an example of how I like to use it for. Now to set up our budgets, I have my Erin Condren monthly planner. This is in the 7x9 size in the Inspire design. And this is my budget planner for 2024. I've already set up a few of our 2024 budget spreads together, so I will have videos linked below if you guys are curious about those spreads. I didn't get the opportunity to set up quarter one's budget with you guys, so I will do it all in total for the results video. But for today, we're setting up our quarter two. I feel like I am very out of breath. I've been trying to kind of fly through some of these videos, and I feel like the talking, I'm getting tired of my own voice, honestly. We're going to just try to fly through this one, since we do have to leave after this one to take our babies out. Let's do 2024 budgets. And then I feel like life has been so busy and I'm having trouble keeping up. Alrighty, for the 2024 budget for quarter one, in general for what is it called, for the first quarter as well, we've increased our budget from $5,000 a month to $5,200 per month because $5,000 per month was just not doing it for us and we kept overspending. So for our income category, we have general, and then we have whatever extra. So we have this section if we need to use it to fill in. Since we're budgeting per a quarter for April, May, and June, whatever the amount is that we're budgeting, we're going to multiply it by 3. So for April, May, and June, our budget is going to be $5,200 per month. So $5,200 times 3 means that for this quarter, our budget is going to be $15,600. for all of our bills and expenses. So we'll do this little closing strip. I forgot what year it was, but I budgeted per the whole year, and the amounts for all of the bills and everything, oh my goodness, it's so sad. It's like, wow, you work and all of that just goes straight to bills. I'm going to set this up like we usually do every single month. There's really no difference for the most part, except for, of course, the numbers. I think the only difference this quarter versus last quarter, I believe it's going to be one of our categories for our what is it called, our electronic cash envelopes. We're going to change the amount so we can spend more for groceries and spend less on eating out. We've made a great effort to not spend so much money on eating out, and this is where we're going to house our electronic cash envelopes. We're going to actually budget $200 per month. which is crazy because we've always at least budgeted $300 per month for eating out. So that means it's going to be a total of $600 for this quarter for eating out. Next, we have groceries. Groceries, we normally budget $400 per month, but instead we're going to budget $500 per month. That in total means we'll have $1,500 for this quarter for groceries. Next, we have gas. Gas is going to be the same, which is $150 per month. That means we'll have $450 for this quarter. Again, we're multiplying everything by 3 since we're budgeting and setting ourselves this set goal every single month for April, May, and June. We are zero-based budgeters, which means whatever our budget amount is, every single dollar goes somewhere. I know I'm getting sidetracked right now, but just to show you guys an example for March and every month in general, when we add up all of our budgeted amounts, it's going to equal to our budget for that month. So for example, we have $5,200. That is our budget for the month of March. That minus everything for our little cash envelopes or our electronic cash envelopes, minus all the expenses for all of our bills down here. All of our bills down here totals to $3,300. And of course, that means we have the leftover $900 that we have budgeted out in this section. Now flipping back, what was the next category? Next category we have is allowance. For allowance, we're going to keep it at $75 per a month as well. That's just been working for us. So $75 times 3 equals $225 for this quarter. Then we have our babies category. Babies will also keep at $75 per month, and that means that times 3 is $225. We have a sinking funds category for our babies as well, but this is kind of like overflow or just like small wants that we want to get for them. Now we're going to close this off. And then closing this off, let's actually total this up as well. The total for all of this combined equals to $3,000. That means per month we have $1,000 split between these 5 categories. Now let's move on to our little fixed section over here. I'm thinking of maybe later in the year, for maybe the next quarter or our last quarter of the year, to start saving just a bit and putting some funds over towards like a Roth IRA maybe, or another investment account. But that would go over in this section. But for right now, we're just going to keep it as is. The first category we have, as always, are sinking fund categories. For our sinking funds, we are going to be placing the same amount, $800 per month. That times 3 is $2,400 for this quarter. And then last but not least, our little ally, which is going to be $100 per month, which means that will be $300 for this quarter. We're still set on focusing on paying for our student loans and paying our debt off versus saving, which is why we're not really saving too much for this quarter. Adding these two together equals $2,700 that we have dedicated for these 2 categories. Now for my little last little glitter strip. Now for the section below. For this section, we house all of our bills. We have so many bills. You definitely don't have to separate this out the way that I do. As I always mention, you guys can definitely separate this out in other ways, such as per paycheck, paycheck 1, paycheck 2, or if you want to split it with your significant other. But that is what the bill section will look below. I just personally like to split it up this way. For our variable bills, the first one we're going to have over here is going to be for gas. The estimate for our gas, we're going to do $100 per a quarter. We're changing it slightly from the last quarter because our bills I feel like they're going to increase. This is the spread that we use to track all of our bills over the years, but for April, May, and June, for gas, it's not as much. At the beginning of the year, we set it for $150, but in the middle of the year, it is not as much, so we're going to decrease it down to $100 per month. And then as for electric, we're going to have that at $100, so the same amount as last quarter. So we have an estimate of $100 per month. That means it's going to be $300 for this quarter. Then we have utilities, electric. This will be $300 as well, so for $100 per month. Next, we have our mobile. Our mobile bill will forever be a variable because it always alters and changes by a couple dollars or a couple cents. But this will be at $180 per month. That means in total for the quarter will be $540. Then we have our student loans. I decided to leave our student loans over here because as we pay them, sometimes they fluctuate, so it's kind of strange. So I'm going to leave mine at $175 per month. That means in total, that times 3 is $525 for the quarter. And then for my husband's, we have it at $125. So that will be $375 for the quarter. Now for our fixed amounts. First one we have is mortgage. For our mortgage, we finally have a set amount, which is $2,313.94. That times 3 equals to, for this quarter, will be $6,941.82. But for the next category, we have is internet. Internet should stay at $95 per month, so that times 3 is $285 for the quarter. Next is Netflix. Netflix just increased towards the end of last year, so hopefully it does not again. It's at $12.71 per month. That times 3 is $38.13 that we have set for Netflix. Then we have Spotify. Spotify is at $11.65 per month, so that times 3 is $34.94. Then we have HOA. HOA is at $80.66. That times 3 is $241.89 or 98 cents. Last but not least, for our fixed bills, we have HBO. This is $16.95 per a month. That times 3 is $50.85. So that is all of our fixed bills as well. Adding up all of our fixed bill amounts, the total for this for the whole entire quarter is going to be $7,592.73. And then I do have one more that I want to place for our variable income. The reason why I have not placed it down yet is because I wanted to just kind of like further explain it a little bit. I do have a holder category here. And this holder category is essentially to make this an even amount. So for this holder, we have it at $89.09 per a month. That times 3 is $267.27. And you'll see why I have this here in a second. But I just want to total all of this up. The total for all of our estimates for all of our variable bills for the quarter is going to be $2,307.27. So if we add these funds together for a variable and fixed, for the whole entire 3 months, we have it for the estimate. The estimate is going to be $9,900 for the quarter of April, May, and June. That means it's going to be $3,300 per month. And then we'll have actual for the actual that was spent for this whole entire quarter. So that is actually going to be it for this sheet. Alrighty, and I also drew my lines in real quick. Now we have our set budget for the second quarter of 2024. Now we're ready to go to set up our budgets for April, May, and June and try our best to stick to them, hopefully. Let's just set up our sinking funds real quick, and then I think that's what we have planned for this video, or all we have planned for this video. I don't know why the lining or spacing back here in the note pages for the Erin Condren is slightly different from the rest of the planner. But we have sinking funds. Let's do. I'm also going to move this slightly over because I like being able to put the little script on the side. April, May, and June. And then we'll put our little header scripts. And I really am just going to do the same thing as we did the previous years. I have multiple glitter strips. Why can't I talk right now? I have multiple glitter strips, and I'm just going to kind of put them down here. And I do plan on changing some of the categories, so you guys will see them in our April sinking funds video. I'm not going to do them in this video, so we'll talk about them then. We'll do our little final totals strip down here. Alrighty, and I drew the lines real quick. So the last thing that we just want to do is we're going to put down the little scripts down for April. April, May. And then last but not least, we have June. And that is going to be it for this sheet as well. This is what this entire spread is looking like for the second quarter. And that is actually going to be it for this video. Alrighty, thank you guys so much as always for tuning in. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!